On July 31st, the streets of Harare appeared almost deserted, except for a visible security presence. Activists had called on Zimbabweans to take part in demonstrations against corruption and the government's handling of the economy. President Emmerson Mnangagwa said the protest would amount to insurrection. Despite that declaration, small rallies went ahead. Among those taking part was Fadzai Mahere, the spokesperson for the main opposition party, the Movement for Democratic Change Alliance. She live-streamed her arrest on Facebook.
Riot police are coming at us and they're armed. Riot police are advancing towards us for the protest.
Mahere was charged with participating in a gathering to incite public violence and breaching coronavirus lockdown regulations.
What that arrest represents is the deteriorating human rights situation in Zimbabwe, where people are no longer free. And we've known that Zimbabweans are not free, but now if you cannot step outside your home to protest against the national crisis, the hunger crisis, the public health crisis, the corruption crisis, it tells a story.
Government critics have come under increasing pressure in Zimbabwe in recent months. Prominent writers, journalists, lawyers, activists and opposition politicians have been detained. UN human rights experts have called for an end to a pattern of disappearances and torture that appear aimed at suppressing protests and dissent. It's been nearly 3 years since Mnangagwa came to power in a coup that deposed long-term ruler Robert Mugabe. Many Zimbabweans hoped it could lead to a new era of democracy. Mnangagwa pledged to revive the economy and take a zero-tolerance approach on corruption. Zimbabweans are still waiting. Inflation is at more than 700%. The cost of basic necessities is getting further out of reach for many, particularly in rural areas. It's estimated that by the end of the year, 60% of the population will be food insecure. Mnangagwa says the pandemic, drought, Western sanctions and the opposition are tampering with growth and prosperity, and that there are dark forces inside and outside of the country working against the government.
The bad apples that have attempted to divide our people and to weaken our systems will be flushed out.
It's a warning that leaves little room for dissent, but more than enough space to crack down on criticism. Natalie Poyhonen, The Newsmakers.